my name is Soleil and welcome to the Little Reader's Corner. Today I'm doing a review, and I'm sure you already know that this is a review about Finale, the finale in the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. So I just finished this book about 10 minutes ago. I have a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions. So first I'm going to give just a short, non-spoilery review of how I feel about this book before I get into all the spoilers, in case you just want to hear my thoughts before you read it yourself. So I did really enjoy this book. I have loved the Caraval series since the first one, and I also loved Legendary. Overall, I just really enjoy Stephanie Garber's writing and how she incorporates plot and character development throughout her novels. And with every single one of these books, I did not see the plot coming, which is usually my problem when I read different books, is I can usually guess what's going to happen in the book and like kind of interpret what the plot is going to turn into, which I really enjoy doing, but also kind of sucks because then it's just a little too predictable for me. However, with these books, I did not see most of the things coming, and I was pleasantly surprised for the most part with everything that happened. I really enjoyed Finale. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It would have been a 5-star read if it weren't for the last 50 pages. So I have some personal problems with the ending and how certain things happened towards the end and how all of that occurred. Love the book, love Stephanie Garber, nothing against her, just my personal preferences with certain kind of plot elements and theme. Now, if you have not read this book and you don't want to be spoiled, I would go away right now because I'm about to uncase everything that happens here, especially the ending. Okay, bye! Hello. So you've read this book, or you don't give an absolute gosh darn crap about knowing what happens. First off, why time travel? Everything was going so well. Everything was going great. There were absolutely no elements of time, at least as I can remember, in Caraval or Legendary or this one, until all of a sudden they're like, the assassin can travel through time, and you're like, okay, that's nice. Good for the assassin. Now can he please go away? Like, we're not tackling time travel, right? And no, we're not, until the last 50 pages. Stephanie, why? And then I'm like, okay, so maybe it'll be fine. Like, I love time travel. It's just I have a problem when people try to tackle time travel in less than 50 pages and don't deal with the full consequences of what will happen when time travel happens. So of course Scarlett goes back in time and sees her mother, and I'm like, okay, you know, it'll be fine. She'll just grab the dress and she'll just go. She'll just leave and everything will be fine, and she won't actually maybe change time. And then of course her mother, being, you know, a badass, finds her and is like, what are you doing stealing my dress? And she's like, so I'm your daughter, and I went back in time with the assassin, and we need to make sure that all these things happen correctly, so I'm telling you everything. And I'm like, no. And it's kind of okay, because Scarlett, for one sentence basically, is like, you know, maybe all of time actually happens because I go back in time and tell my mom everything. You know, maybe. But also, Scarlett, maybe you could have just ruined all of time and caused yourself not to exist because maybe your mother does something stupid now. Like, don't mess with time in that way. And then, of course, we have absolutely no consequences in the present moment. So, we can assume that Scarlett was right in thinking that in the original timeline, everything happened the way it did because she went back in time to talk to her mother the first time around, and that this is kind of like the time cycle and like it's a loop. But also, it can't just all be fine. And then let's tackle the way that they got rid of the fallen star. Why? Why did it have to be that Scarlett, his daughter, had to pretend to be her mother, his lover, and be like, Daddy. Like, am I the only one that's weirded out by that? I think that's weird. I think it's weird. What if he, like, actually had fallen in love and then it was really weird and then he tried to kiss her, but actually it's his daughter? Like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. As I said, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed this book. I was loving it. I didn't see any of it coming, especially the end. I did not see the end coming. Oh my goodness. I didn't see any of it coming. I was loving that part of it. I was loving the character development. I was kind of annoyed with, like, the back and forth with Legend and Tella. That was a little bit very repetitive. I still feel like Jax's character is not that round. Like, I know he's a fate. I still feel like he doesn't have much of a motivation besides for, like, the whole obsessive thing. Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed how Stephanie Garber tackled immortality and, like, the power of love, which is, like, you know, a classic thing, power of love. But I really enjoyed how she tackled it in this, so that was awesome. Loved that. The other tropesy thing is the whole estranged family member, which just kind of got tossed in there twice. With the first one being like, fallen star, I am your father, Scarlet. And she's like, oh, damn, okay. And I was like, okay, I guess she's not surprised. Okay, fine. And then later, when I think it is the fallen star who says, like, by the way, Paloma / Paradise the Lost was actually the daughter of the Empress. And everyone was like, oh, really? Was she really? And I was like, it's funny. And then in the last part, Scarlet's going to her coronation as the Empress because apparently Paradise was the daughter of the Empress. 2 estranged family members that happen to be, like, high up in the rankings for no reason. I just think it's a little weird. It wasn't necessary for Scarlet to be the Empress in the end. I just don't see why that was necessary for the plot. I do like the little letter from Tella towards the end where she's like, hey, Legend, you should pretend to kidnap me because I'm not good at being a princess. Like, can we just run away together? And I was like, you know, that is some on-point characterization there. That is so Tella. I love it. I love what happened with her and Legend towards the end and how that all kind of went around. Still kind of wish that Stephanie Garber had killed off Legend because that would have been pretty epic where he was like, I don't love you. Then all of a sudden he dies and does not come back and you're like, he did though. He did. So I kind of wanted her to kill him off because that would have been a really cool plot, but it's fine. So I guess in sum, those are my main thoughts about it. I know I focused a lot more on the things that I had problems with, but honestly, overall, I really did enjoy the book. I enjoyed how the sisters' relationship developed and how the Fates all had really complex characters, except for Jax, because Jax didn't really feel so complex. And I like how with Stephanie Garber's books, there is, like, the world building, but it doesn't feel like each place that they go to is unnecessary. There have been books that I've read where it just feels like they're like, oh, let's just go to this place, I don't know, to make the plot feel like a little more exciting and that they're moving around. And I've had kind of some difficulties with that with my writing where I'm like, okay, we should make them go somewhere, but, like, what's the motivation? For in here, it feels much more natural and that they're just living their lives. Yeah. One more thing. They killed off Scarlet's fiance. Love that. It's kind of weird though. They were like, oh, he's burned to a crisp. His body's just lying there and there's maggots. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. And it was kind of neat. I don't know if they mentioned it in the other books that the fated objects are actually fates that died, but their magic can't their magic can't die, which I think is really cool because that brings in like, there's a law of physics that says that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. That's what it is! Okay! It can only be like changed. So I feel like that's what the fated objects are, is just like that magic cannot be destroyed nor can it be created. It can just be like moved from one thing to the other, so it can be like morphed into something. So I think that's cool. Yes. This was my review for Finale by Stephanie Garber, the last in the Caraval trilogy. I'm very excited to see what Stephanie Garber writes next because I love her writing. I loved these books and I definitely recommend them to anyone who hasn't read them yet. I'm hoping that if you've gotten this far in the video, it's because you have read these books and you didn't just spoil them all for you. Because if you did, then I feel like I did not do a really great job of selling them because I only talked about what kind of bothered me, because I don't really know what to say about all the other great things. Like, it was just good. Love the characterization. I really enjoyed the language. That's it. So if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more of me, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button down below, and you can even hit that little bell icon if you want to be notified the next time I post a new video. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye! Charlotte is being announced as the